Good morning, children. Hope all of you are fine. In the previous class, we have discussed about challenges to political parties. What are the challenges faced by the political parties? Lack of internal democracy, dynastic succession, growing role of money and muscle power, lack of meaningful choice. Today, we will discuss about the topic how can parties be reformed or how can parties be purified. In order to face these challenges, political parties need to be reformed. Let's discuss some of the recent efforts and suggestions in our country to reform political parties and its leaders. First point, in order to reform political parties, our government introduced anti-defection law. Do you know what is anti-defection law? Let's see. The constitution was amended to prevent elected MLAs and MPs from changing parties. What was the purpose behind this amendment? This was done because many elected representatives were indulging in defection in order to become ministers or for cash rewards. Then what is defection? Changing party allegiance from the party on which a person got elected to a different party. So in order to prevent this defection, our government introduced anti-defection law. According to the anti-defection law, if any MLA or MP changes party, he or she will lose the seat in the legislature. This new law has helped bring defection down. Second point is the submission of affidavit. The Supreme Court passed an order to reduce the influence of money and criminals. Now, it is mandatory for every candidate who contests election to file an affidavit. It is a signed document submitted to an officer where a person makes a sworn statement regarding her personal information. So it gives details of his property and criminal cases pending against him. This new system has made a lot of information available to the public. But there is a loophole in this. There is no system of check if the information given by the candidate is true. So what is the second point? Submission of affidavit. The Supreme Court passed an order to reduce the influence of money and criminals. According to this, it is mandatory for every candidate who contests election to file an affidavit. Then what is affidavit? It is a signed document submitted to an officer where a person makes a sworn statement regarding her personal information. So it gives detail of his property and criminal cases pending against him. This new system has made a lot of information available to the public. Third point, the Election Commission passed an order making it necessary for political parties to hold their organizational elections and file their income tax returns. So the parties have started doing this. So what is third point? Election Commission passed an order making it necessary for political parties to hold their organizational elections and file their income tax returns. Besides these methods, many suggestions are often made to reform political parties. Let's discuss about these suggestions. First suggestion. A law should be made to regulate the internal affairs of political parties. It should be made compulsory for political parties to maintain a register of its members, to follow its own constitution, to have an independent authority, to act as a judge in case of a party disputes, to hold open elections to the highest posts. Second suggestion to reform political party is it should be made mandatory for political parties to give a minimum number of seats, about 1/3, to women candidates. So what is the second suggestion? It should be made mandatory, compulsory for political parties to give a minimum number of seats or tickets, about 1/3, to women candidates. Third suggestion, there should be state funding of elections. The government should give money to parties to support their election expenses. The support could be given in kind, like petrol, paper, telephone, etc. Or it could be given in cash on the basis of the votes secured by the party in the last election. Besides this, there are other two ways in which political parties can be reformed. First, people can put pressure on political parties. This can be done through petitions, publicity and agitations. Ordinary citizens, pressure groups and movements and media can play an important role in this. Another point is active participation of people. The quality of democracy depends on the degree of public participation. It is difficult to reform politics if ordinary citizens do not take part in it and simply criticize it from the outside. So, active participation of people is very, very important to reform politics and political parties. Let me conclude today's session. I hope all of you have understood the content clearly. For your reference, I have uploaded the URL. Go through it. Notes are also attached along with this. Take it down. A test question paper is also there. Try it yourself. Thank you.